guys, so I wanted to film a video about how I'm planning my first year of homeschooling. I just thought I would pick up the camera every time I do a bit of planning and then just kind of merge those things all together instead of just sitting here talking about it, so you can actually see what I am doing. Today what I'm going to do is look at the early years framework on the government website, just because we are flexi schooling, so she is going 2 days a week, and I do want to stick to quite closely to the national curriculum, just so that she is kind of where she needs to be with the school, and also because actually for reception, I kind of agree with most of the goals of the national curriculum, so I'm quite happy just to follow it. So I'm just on my bed here and I have opened the statutory framework for early years foundation stage on the government website. You can just kind of look this up, because it is all changing from the 1st September 2021. It's not changed massively, but I just kind of want to look at the new content, and I have a notebook here just to jot down some kind of thoughts and ideas about it. Okay, so if you just look here, it has the areas of learning and development, and there are 7 areas: communication and language, physical development, personal, social and emotional development, and then literacy, maths, understanding the world and expressing arts and design. So what I think I'm going to do is jot down I'll do 7 pages and do kind of one of those things per page, so I can jot down in that kind of some ideas and what she needs to learn. So then if I go back and show you this document, you have it, they kind of explain what each of the stages mean and tell you a little bit about them. For example, in communication and language, it's kind of that they expect you to be able to have a 2-way conversation with a child, kind of have increasing quality of conversation, and be in like a language rich environment. So it's basically talking to your child, but also reading frequently to your child, engaging with stories, non-fiction, rhymes, poems. And then a bit further down, it goes into it in a more bullet point system, and then it kind of has little ideas as well in planning and guiding children's learning. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time looking at this document and just listing a few of the things that it says, and then I will kind of go around the rest of the internet and look at different ways that ideas and worksheets and things and resources, and just list all those. And then after I do that, I want to also make a list of what I want her to learn that isn't necessarily included in the early years framework. I think a lot of what I want to teach her will be included in that. For example, doing nature studies or doing the weather will all be included in understanding the world around them. So yeah, I think I'm going to base quite a lot of what I do on the earliest framework and then go from there. So I'm just going to sit here and make a load of lists now. So I'm back again today at my computer, just looking today at some topics and writing them down in my notebook, just after where I wrote down all the curriculum in the early years curriculum. So I just want to write down really what topics I want to cover and what I think she might be interested in. So we had a school Q&A yesterday virtually for reception, and they kind of just gave me an overview of kind of what topics they're doing and what they're going to start with, and they said they almost always start with all about me. So I thought I'd just start looking it up, and so I went on Twinkle, and I'm not actually subscribed to Twinkle. I asked them about whether it was worth it, and they love it as teachers. But it's still, I find it quite expensive, so I'm going to see what I can find for free. And I'm just basically looking through all the like Twinkle pages to see what is free here, because look, you have all these free resources, display banner there, and just looking through and seeing what I can find. Hi guys, I'm really afraid that this video is going to be really bitty and just kind of all over the place, but that's kind of how my organisation has been for the home ed, because I'm just snatching time here and there to kind of organise our first home ed year. But I think I've pretty much sorted what I want to do now and how I'm going to plan. So instead of thinking I need to plan for the entire year, obviously the entire year I've got the topics that I kind of want to cover. I have been thinking through some curriculum that I want to get her, which I'll talk about in a minute. And other than that, I think I'm going to just plan half termly. I've been joined by a little helper, so a half term is 6 weeks. So instead of thinking, oh, I need to plan what I'm doing every week all the way until next July, I'm just going to plan 6 weeks at a time, and in the holidays then plan for the next half term and get all my resources and stuff together based on what the school's doing and what Miriam's interests are. So for the first term, I'm going to go with the school and do all about me. I'll actually turn you around so you can actually see what I've written, because I think that'll be a bit easier. So yeah, I think I've shown you my little homeschooling planning just notebook, and then I've also got this homeschool planner as well, which I'm gonna eventually get stuff in there and review this, but that will probably be a separate video just because I want to use it for a bit and be able to kind of figure out how I'm going to use it before reviewing it, because I don't really know how it's going to work for us and what the pros and cons are yet. So most things are kind of just jotted down here, and as I think of things, they will kind of just be jotted in here. So these are all the topics that I have got so far, and then I've kind of got approximate dates, because I think this all about me one will actually take more than 1 week. It might even take 2 weeks, it might take 3 weeks, so we're going to try and be quite flexible about it. And I think I have decided to subscribe to Twinkle, but I'll talk about that later actually. So yeah, we've got a lot of resources on Twinkle to do with this that I will print off and show you guys at some point. Next I've got Harvest. See, this is kind of stuff is subject to change, but I thought next up we could just do the calendar, days, months, seasons. As Christians we don't celebrate Halloween. The school will be doing lots of Halloween related stuff, so I will address that and help her to understand why we don't celebrate Halloween, and talk a bit about what Halloween is and things. And then it's Black History Month in October, so I'm potentially going to just look at some Black people in history. And then Reformation Day is on the 31st of October, same day as Halloween, so we will do about what Reformation Day is and celebrate that maybe instead of Halloween. So that's basically what I've planned for the first 6 weeks of home ed, and I'm just gonna carry on like that because I feel like it's less overwhelming to plan it in a 6-week block rather than like yearly. Obviously I've got a general idea of what we want to get done for the whole year, but it means that our topics can be based more on what the school's doing, what she enjoys, and yeah, not so much like I need all these resources all at once. And then the printing, I can just at the beginning of each half term I'll just print the resources I need for that half term, and then file them away and then print the next resources that we need for the next half term. I think that's what we're going to try to do. We don't know whether it'll work or not. It's our first year doing it, and I'm sure we will change it as we go along, but that's what we're going to do in. I said about Twinkle, I was really unsure whether to subscribe to Twinkle or not, but I have decided to go for it. I've talked to quite a few home ed families, and quite a few people have said to me if we could have only one subscription and nothing else, it would be to Twinkle. And in the end of July and beginning of August, I think it's the last week of July that goes into August, they have a home ed discount, so it's quite a lot of money off. So I am waiting, so I can't print anything off yet, and I can't kind of create a folder for our first half term because I'm going to wait for that discount. It's a bit frustrating because a lot of it is like online PDFs that you then have to print, and obviously there's a cost in printing all of that as well, and your paper and your ink. So I'm quite like, yeah, I don't know if it'll be worth it or not. I'm hoping it'll be worth it. I think if anything it'll make my life easier, because I'm sure I probably could find a lot of the resources similar to that for free online, or get them from the school and things, but it would take a lot more effort to find those, and they're on all different websites and things like that. At least it's kind of one place, one subscription where I can just find everything I need. So I think I am going to do that, and then I'll take you to the computer actually and just show you what I'm thinking of getting in terms of curriculum for maths and English, because everything else, that's the only curriculum we're getting really. Yes, I'll do that. So just before I show you online, just because it's related, because we've already got a kind of English curriculum, and it's these 3 CGP books, phonics books for autumn, summer and spring term, or autumn, spring and summer term. They're not in the right order, sorry. I was really worried whether these books would be enough, because when you look at people that get like the Good and the Beautiful language arts curriculum, or master books maths curriculum, or like the master books English curriculum, language arts curriculum, they're huge books and they cost like £40, and these are about £5 each. So I think I got these for £15 for the 3 books. But to be honest, when I look inside them, they just have kind of everything I would want them to have. And then if I do feel like something's tricky for her and she needs practice, I can go on Twinkle and get some more pages and just print them out. So I think this will be enough for us, I'm hoping, especially, you know, she's only 4, she only needs that bit of phonics. And then if I just show you on Amazon, I hope you can see it okay, I've got a homeschooling list. I'm trying not to show you any personal details, but I'm probably going to get, where is it, this maths, it's exactly the same reception, 3 books for each term, but the maths curriculum, and I'm probably going to get all 3 of those, and that will be our maths curriculum. I've also got the master books in there. That's the master books, that's Maths No Problem, I think that's the Singapore one, but like they are, well, it says from £20 here, but this one is like over £30, and I'm a bit worried about using American curriculum because of the whole differences between like the metric and imperial system, especially with maths. So I think that's pretty much everything that I want to share with you in terms of how I've planned, because I've pretty much picked up the camera every time I've done any planning and just shown you kind of the process of what I've done. I'm debating whether to show you my Twinkle account and just show you what I've got on there and what you can do with that. I might do that actually, that might be helpful. So if I just show you on here, you can get a Twinkle account for free, it's just that you can only then get the free stuff. But you can add anything, even though this stuff isn't free. I can add it to my resources and save it so that when I do get the paid account, I can just open it and print it off. So you've got this All About Me poem, and it's a whole like pack of stuff and a PowerPoint. Yeah, so I kind of looked up stuff based on the first kind of term and what we're doing. Like, so I looked up months of the year, so it's like a cut and paste activity, and a little cycle here where you can put the seasons and colour that in as well. There's some Black History and Significant People fact sheets, lots of harvest kind of thing, these hedgehog biscuit recipes, a tractor where you get all the pieces and kind of stick the pieces of the tractor together. As you can see, I've got 13 pages, so it's just loads and loads of stuff. I've got all this All About Me, pieces of me, like my age, my family, my interests, things like that. And so when I've paid for the actual account, I will go to that and just print the stuff off that I want. I probably won't print every single page of every single thing, but I will just print off what I want to print off. Is number bond, so obviously these are the topical ones, but then you also get the maths and English stuff as well, so there's loads and loads of stuff on there, so I think it will be worth it and quite good for me. So I kind of hope you found this like bitty planning video helpful. I hope when I'm editing it, it isn't too bitty and it kind of goes together quite nicely and you kind of get to see what I've done. I will do a video reviewing the homeschooling diary thing that I've got, book organizer. Everything in there is blank, so you can start it from whenever. It doesn't start from September, it's just blank and you write in the months. So that's quite handy. It's one thing I already like about it. Maybe if I use it to plan before August, I might be able to get a video about it in August so that you guys can get it for September if you want to. But anyway, and then I'll probably also do a video when we start homeschooling in September, just for that, like a flick through of that term's work and what I'm planning to do when I've actually printed everything off, so I can physically show you what we've got. But obviously this was just a planning video. I hope it wasn't too boring. Yeah, if you've got any questions or anything that you want to know or for me to make a video of, please comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.